Picture Iron Man, a lone hero battling villains without the Avengers' might. Imagine Spider-Man, forever a Sony property, never joining the epic MCU battles. Disney's 2009 Marvel acquisition changed everything. And let's find the answer to the question, what if? Without Disney's acquisition, a fragmented Marvel Cinematic Universe would likely have emerged. Different studios would control various franchises, Sony retaining Spider-Man, Fox holding the X-Men, resulting in inconsistent creative direction and limited crossovers. Imagine an Iron Man trilogy vastly different in tone from a Fox-produced X-Men saga, lacking the interconnected narratives and shared universe that define the current MCU. The ambitious, large-scale crossover events, a cornerstone of the MCU's success, would likely be significantly curtailed by the logistical and creative hurdles of coordinating multiple studios with divergent visions. This fractured approach could have resulted in varying levels of quality across franchises, a stark contrast to the generally high production standards seen in the current MCU. The overall cinematic experience would have lacked the cohesion and synergy that propelled the MCU to global dominance. Sony's Spider-Man franchise, absent the MCU's influence, might have lacked the same creative freedom and box office triumph. The films could have diverged significantly from the established MCU narrative, potentially resulting in a less consistent or critically acclaimed series. Meanwhile, Fox's X-Men films, freed from MCU synergy, would likely have taken a different creative path. Their tone, character arcs, and overarching storylines could have unfolded in ways wholly distinct from the familiar MCU aesthetic. Other Marvel properties, like the Fantastic Four or Daredevil, might have seen varied fates under different studios, leading to inconsistent quality and potentially hindering their widespread recognition and impact. The overall effect would be a fragmented landscape with differing levels of success and creative vision across the various Marvel properties. A less unified superhero landscape would likely emerge without Disney's influence. Competition would be fierce, with studios like Sony, Spider-Man, and Fox X-Men leading independent franchises. This could spur innovation as studios strive for unique narratives and styles to stand out. However, a fragmented market might also lead to oversaturation and a higher risk of unsuccessful ventures. The overall quality and consistency could vary drastically across different franchises, lacking the cohesive universe and consistent style that Disney fostered. The potential for ambitious crossovers would decrease significantly, limiting the scope of storytelling and fan engagement. Ultimately, the superhero genre would still thrive, but in a vastly different and potentially less impactful way than what we've witnessed with the MCU. A Marvel without Disney would mean a drastically different merchandising landscape. The cohesive branding and widespread appeal of the MCU, driving the immense success of toys, apparel, and video games, would be fragmented. Each studio controlling various properties, Sony with Spider-Man, Fox with X-Men, etc., would likely pursue their own merchandising strategies, resulting in a less unified and potentially less lucrative market. The absence of a Disney-backed theme park experience further diminishes the scale of potential revenue streams. This splintering would affect fan culture as well, leading to a more decentralized and potentially less passionate online community, lacking the unifying force of a shared cinematic universe. The collective impact of a singular, powerful brand would be lost, leaving behind a more diverse, but potentially less impactful cultural footprint. Marvel's financial trajectory without Disney is uncertain. While Marvel Studios might have enjoyed success with individual franchises like Iron Man, the lack of Disney's vast marketing and distribution infrastructure would likely have significantly hampered their overall profitability. Different studios handling various properties would result in varied financial outcomes. Some might have thrived, while others could have suffered losses, influencing future investment in the superhero genre. The absence of a unified cinematic universe would have drastically reduced merchandising revenue, impacting toy sales, theme park attractions, and video game development. Essentially, a fragmented Marvel would likely mean a less lucrative, less predictable financial landscape for both Marvel itself and the studios involved in producing its films. Disney's 2009 Marvel acquisition drastically shaped the superhero genre. A fragmented, less cohesive cinematic universe likely would have resulted without Disney's involvement. In your opinion, what if Disney hadn't bought Marvel in 2009? Share your thoughts in the comments.